Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me here on Wave Now. I'm Myra Ansari. We are going to a press conference that started just a few minutes ago. Sorry to jump in a little bit late. UoflL Health is announcing a $25 million project to build a center for rural cancer education and research. Let's listen in.
My partner and colleague, the CEO of UoflL Health, Mr. Tom Miller. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, President Schessel. I would let you know, we're talking about the president of the university who understands healthcare so well and truly has a mission also to improve the health of the community. So thank you for your leadership. We are fortunate to have such an outstanding partner as the University of Louisville in caring for the Commonwealth. The new center is the direct result of your leadership and the entire university's commitment to education, research, and increasing access to clinical care. It is with the support of the university that UoflL was formed, and since then we have been focused on breaking down barriers to healthcare. That steadfast mission is a reason we now have a full-service inpatient hospital here, almost 2 months old. And when Judge Summers 5 years ago said, bring a hospital, I didn't know that was the start of what to come forward. So, Judge, thank you. I want to acknowledge Dory Shelburne. Dory is our CEO here at South Hospital for her vision and passion. If any of you know her, it's never good enough. She wants to be better every single day, and we appreciate you, Dory. I also want to thank our physicians. Thank goodness I don't take care of patients, but we have people like Dr. Jeff Bumpus, who is the interim dean of the School of Medicine, and Dr. Jason Chesney, who truly has convinced me we can make a difference in cancer care in this community. He has told me, and I believe him, that the death rate of cancer in our community will be 50% less in 10 years. And I truly believe that's because of him, his colleagues, and the research that's going on. We know as the I-65 corridor grows that this location is really going to be ideal for access for thousands of individuals. Just being off Brook Street, it's where we're going to save cancer patients' lives, we hope. And when we did this, it was not just for Louisville or Bullitt County. It truly was to serve the Kentucky community, South, West Kentucky, and truly, I think Jason has taken care of patients in every county in this state, and it's a great opportunity for us to do that. And I do really believe you will achieve that goal. And research helps us get things. Clinical trials is what makes a difference associated with it. Jason will put a plug in. I need a little more money to help grow that research, but we know that the Brown Cancer Center is making a difference every single day, and that the patients that are taken care of in rural Kentucky will benefit by a facility like this. I also want to echo the gratitude that President Schessel did of the Brown Cancer Center Board and the Regional Cancer Center Corporation. They're out there volunteering their time to help other people. We appreciate it. The UoflL Health Board, the South Hospital Board, Judge Summers again, and all of our patients like Chris Sutton will have the opportunity to talk. It is with your support that this is not University of Louisville's or UoflL Health's hospital. This is your hospital, and we are so grateful for what we're going to do. I also have to thank our partners in crime, and that's the leadership of the Kentucky State Senate and House, and most importantly, Senator Nemes, who many times called and says, we're almost there, but we need a little bit more. We just need a little bit more. And Representative Griffey, thank you for your new role in helping us make sure we make this problem go away. I also want to thank two of our local leaders of Hillview, Mayor Mike Edens. Mayor, I haven't seen you yet, but I think he's here somewhere. Mike, and Police Chief Mahoney. So thank you both for what you're doing. We together are going to make a difference in the health of this community. All I can say is thank you for your trust in us. We will, with our physicians and the university, make a difference to you. And it's my pleasure to introduce Senator Nemes, who has truly was the instigator in making this happen.
Thank you all. This is a great crowd. Isn't it a great day? Everybody's complaining about the rain. I love it. The rain comes and makes, when the sun comes, the flowers and that. It is what we need for growth. Same as here. This is what we need for growth. It is the people here and the people doing the work, people have done the work, and the people that will do the work. So I want to start out with thanking President Schatzel. She has truly been inspiration to all of us in pushing forward on what she stepped into, a thing of mud. She just stepped into something and was overwhelmed with not just this, many things that we don't have time to talk about. And she's come out strong and done a great job. We have been at it on some things we disagree with, but most of the things we've moved forward and done great. Tom Miller done a great job. And as he said, we had plenty of phone calls when there were some problems, this and that. I called him up. I didn't quite understand all this stuff. Philip Wheeler, Senator Wheeler, was pushing for this or that. And he said, I don't want to hurt U of L or this or that, but I got to have this or this. So I went in Senator Wheeler's office. We had a conversation with Tom and that, straighten things out so that we could move forward. It was just fantastic working with him, and always has been. I have to give accolades to Judge Summers, who has been pushing this forever and forcefully, and he makes phone calls at me at night. I bought a house next to him, and I'm glad I'm not there anymore because he calls me enough. But he always pushes for what's right, what's needed, and he has done such a great job in this community, and it's parlayed into the whole state. Mayor Jim Edens. Jim, I know Tom called you Mike because Mike's a great name. But this, you helped the university with the land and the taxes and this and that way back when, stood by them when it became nothing. The beds, I think a lot of you don't know that, when the hospital changed, not the hospital, but what it was before, the medical center was sold and resold and resold. We lost the CON, the beds, to East Jefferson County. Dan fought that and lost that fight, and it was hard to get that back. Russell Weber was a big part of that. We happened to be in the proper positions. I know I get a lot of accolades, but so many people done so much for so long. I was just fortunate to be in the spot to help when I was able to help. And of course, I couldn't help it with all of you guys pushing me behind, So, Senator Sam, you've been a friend since way back when we both had hair. We go to the same barber, and he charges an upcharge. And I said, we should get a discount now. And they said, no, there's a finder's fee. So, but I delivered to his restaurant way back before most of y'all were born. So I thank you for all you've done for this community in the state. Another mention I have to give is to Senator Meredith, who ran rural hospitals before he retired. And he is jealous of Jefferson County and the hospitals there, but he understood that U of L stood by their word and reached out to all of Kentucky, and they're going to do that again with brown cancer. And he sent letters to all of the state leadership saying how this is going to help South and West Kentucky, not just U of L. So that went a long way, and I think if you ever have a chance to talk to him or thank him, please do that. This facility is not just going to be for treatment. We're going to treat people that maybe don't want to go to downtown Louisville or this or that. It's closer to them. But they're also going to train workers to go out throughout the state so that people can get care, quality care, without having to come to the city or to many miles away. Another big thing that's overlooked is this is research. This is research, so as soon as possible, we can beat cancer and close this down or turn it into something else. Because this research, and y'all coordinating with UK and other places, internationally known what you're already doing, this is just going to be a place to do it in a new Mayor Cabero that is new here, Mayor Dangerfield, who is in Lebanon Junction. Y'all don't understand how it takes the whole county, not just this one community right here in Hillview. It takes them all. And the roads that we're building and got money for from the state is going to be tremendous. You were talking about we need roads to this hospital, not just 65. So we're working on that. And Keith, you've done a great job for that. I have to mention, anytime roads, Keith Griffey comes up. That's all there is to it. So I want to also, this has gone back not just from 2002 or 5, I don't remember when it was started with the hospital and this and that, and just everybody said it can't be done, but it has been done. Look at it. But when it really took off is when UofL, Jewish hospital, UofL lost their teaching hospital. Jewish was going bankrupt. So they were screaming and crying for state money, to front money to buy Jewish hospitals so they wouldn't lose their medical teaching doctors program. So we came through with the 35 million. You were there then, right, Dan? And they didn't want to do it because it was University of Louisville. So once again, we convinced the state that they're going to reach out to the whole state, and it was a $35 million loan. Some of it was forgiven, and they paid it off early. And they followed their commitment. UofL followed their commitment to the rest of the state. So that went a long way to do what we're doing now. And I remember Dr. Ben DePuty was asking for the money, and I said, we got a place in Bullitt County that comes with that. And I said, and if we get the money, I want the promise that you're going to build that hospital. And she, with Dr. Schatz, will come on board, did that. They promised. They fulfilled their obligation. So we're very grateful to UofL. And then after that, and Dr. Schatzel says, well, yeah, we were going to build that hospital that we promised, but we need 25 million. So I'm like, just keep coming. But it's I don't do this for UofL. Dan didn't do it for UofL. Jerry does it for the county. But we do it for all of Kentucky. It's the right thing. I just went down to Murray, Kentucky for a cyber program, and Murray's not my district, but the cyber is for all of Kentucky. So those are the things that we work on the state. And I appreciate you all being here. And then you came again. Okay, thanks for your 25 million for the hospital. Now we got a Brown Research Center. Okay, so and with you all doing what you promise is why we can help you do your promise, because it is for Kentucky. And thanks everybody. I'm sorry if I forgot someone.
Good morning, everybody. For those that don't know me, I'm Representative Peyton Griffey, and I represent the District 26 right here in Hillview. And so I'm so excited to get to represent this district and Hillview specifically with everything that we have going on here that's so exciting and so impactful, like this cancer center. So I recently was sworn in. I had 1 week in session. And before I left, my dad, who's the CFO here in Bullitt County, he told me, you either come home with the cancer center or just stay in Frankfort. Don't come home at all. So I'm excited to be able to be welcome here and to have my dad, be able to be here and share this with us. I wanted to thank a few people. I echo everything that Senator Nemes said. Senator Nemes was just so instrumental in getting this done. Mayor Edens, I know we've had conversations about this. It's just been a great thing to get to work with the mayor, the judge executive and Judge Summers' office, Senator Nemes, Representative Huff, Representative Callaway, and every level of government here in Bullitt County truly worked to make this happen because it is so impactful and truly a game changer for our community. So that's just a pretty amazing thing to get to be a part of in 1 week in office. It's not lost on me that there are people that spend careers in Frankfurt and don't get to vote on things that are this impactful for their community. They might go 20 years without getting to bring something like that home. So to get to be there in 1 week and play a small part in bringing something like this to our community is truly something that I will stay with me for the rest of my life to get to do this and to get to protect people. I truly think that this is going to save lives. So that's a very exciting thing. The last thing I'll leave you with is I'm not just a representative for Bullitt County. I represent District 26, covers a portion of Hardin County as well. And I think that's important because this is not just the Hillview Cancer Center. This isn't just the Bullitt County Cancer Center. It's not the Hardin County Cancer Center. It's the Rural Cancer Center. And this is going to be a game changer, like I said, not just for here, but for our entire state, for our whole Commonwealth, including Hardin County and all surrounding counties. So I'm thrilled about that. Thank everybody. This is a great crowd. It's so good to see everybody and looking forward to everything that comes with this. Thank you.
Representative Griffey and Senator Nemes, thank you so much for being here and celebrating this monumental event. As a cancer surgeon who's worked at the Brown Cancer Center for years, and as a native of Western Kentucky and rural counties in Kentucky, came from a rural county myself, Ballard County and McCracken County, this is an inflection point. The difference this makes today means that people will complete their cancer treatment where they may not have before. And that means more people will survive, more people will live, more people will conquer cancer. And that's the game right there. This new Center for Rural Cancer Education and Research will be closely aligned with Uofl's Brown Cancer Center downtown to ensure that we not only train the next generation of cancer providers, but ensure that every cancer patient in Kentucky receives the best care in the world. This will be a new model in healthcare that we hope to export to other areas of the Commonwealth in the region. We want this to be a signature place in Kentucky, a signature place in the region, and a signature place in the United States. Importantly, I believe that this new center is just the first step to expanding healthcare throughout this part of Kentucky. I'm so fortunate to be here with my colleague Jason Chesney, and I want to introduce him. And even more importantly, I really want to recognize, and he will talk about it more, Chris Sutton, his patient. This is about making better lives for Kentuckians. And we're here for our patients, and we're so grateful to have Jason and his leadership and bringing the hugely talented cancer team to this facility, and to Chris for telling his story. So, Jason, you're up.
Well, Dean Bumpus, it was your insight into the unique needs of rural Kentuckians suffering with cancer that fostered our proposal to create this new center. And I want to thank you on their behalf. Dr. Bumpus is an outstanding dean. He comes from McCracken County. He knows the limitations of access down there. You heard from President Schatzel earlier. She said that over 10,000 patients are going to die of cancer in the next year. And I can tell you right now that it's our goal to reduce the cancer death rate in Kentucky by 50% within the next 10 years. You heard that from Tom Miller. I'm saying that on TV right now. And we're going to make it happen. How does that work? Well, we have to increase access. Access to comprehensive, high-quality cancer care is absolutely essential for us to meet that goal. And this new Center for Rural Cancer Education and Research is essential for that goal. The center will not only provide new cancer research programs, education programs, clinical trials that focus on the western half of the state, on rural Kentuckians, but it's also going to provide access to cutting-edge life-saving care that is so essential for our goals. I can tell you that I personally know of hundreds of patients who wrote letters in support of this center to the state General Assembly. Most of them were my own patients because I discussed this during clinics. One of our mayors here actually knows about this. And it worked, I think. And there were probably 200 patients who did it because other doctors did the same thing. One of those patients is Chris Sutton. Chris lives in Lyon County, not in McCracken County, I'm told, Lyon County. It's 200 miles away from Louisville. It's a 3-hour drive, and Chris comes up every 3 weeks to get infusions right now. He comes to the Brown Cancer Center in Louisville. It's the northeast location. And I asked him, why are you making this drive? And he said, because I'm going to get the very best care I can get anywhere in the world here, and that's why I'm doing it. His kids also live in Louisville. And so without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Chris. He's going to give us some comments. Chris?
Thank you, Dr. Chesney. It's certainly an honor for a country boy like me from Lyon County to share the stage with such a distinguished group. So it's an honor to be here. Thank you, Dr. Chesney, also for asking me to participate in this historic day by giving a patient's perspective. As they've already said, I'm Chris Sutton. I'm from Lyon County in Eddyville. And to give you an idea of where that is, I know Dr. Bumpus doesn't need a map, but it's approximately 200 miles west. Go to E-Town, turn right, and drive another 2.5 hours. Even though we're a long way from Louisville, I want you to realize that there is another 100 miles of Kentucky past us and about 200,000 more Kentuckians past us. So keep that in mind as you're talking about, the state and access to rural areas. Just in case, I got to throw this in, just in case Lyon County may ring a faint bell with you, our little high school of 300 or so students just produced the 2024 boys state basketball champions here in Kentucky. So we're pretty proud of that. My cancer story started last summer like a bolt out of the blue, when a seemingly innocent bump in my left cheek turned out to be a very rare form of malignant melanoma. It was called invasive desmoplastic melanoma, which only accounts for a small percentage of all melanomas. In fact, my particular type of melanoma had my doctors in Paducah telling me they'd never seen a case like this before. It was not only due to the type of melanoma, but also due to how deep it was in my cheek. After one surgery in Paducah to remove the tumor in the lymph node that it had spread to, I was told that I needed further surgery, one that potentially had side effects that were described as morbid, and that I could possibly have nerve damage and a lot of other unpleasant things, along with followed by daily aggressive radiation treatments. This was all very hard to hear because I had never been sick a day in my life, and I never had surgery before. As you can imagine, my family and I were devastated, and all of this stuff, as any cancer patient can tell you, is coming at you so fast. I decided to ask for a second opinion and was told that I could either try Nashville or Louisville. And my family spent that weekend performing some due diligence and research of our own, along with a lot of prayer. And maybe some would say I got lucky, but I believe a higher power was in charge the moment we discovered UoflL and the Brown Cancer Center, and discovered that Meet Dr. Chesney and the Brown Cancer Center online video. If you haven't seen that, I encourage you to Google it. It has his personal story, along with the goals of the Brown Cancer Center, and learning through that video that his work through research and innovative trials is basically, one of his specialties was melanoma. Once we found that out, how could I go anywhere else? I mean, never heard of Brown Cancer Center before. But after that, I reported back to my doctor in Paducah, and I said, it may be a long shot, but I would like to try to get in to see this Dr. Chesney guy. And here's the part that still is amazing to me. My referral from Paducah went in on a Wednesday, And 2 days later, on Friday morning, August 4th, we were sitting in Dr. Chesney's office with his entire team at the Northeast Clinic. 2 days later. Needless to say, when we arrived that day, we were emotional wrecks, not only due to the type of diagnosis, but also the uncertainty that was facing us and the lack of a clear path forward. In all honesty, I cannot fully describe how Dr. Chesney and the entire team embraced us during that first visit. He already had everything ready to go. It was like, well, let's get down to business. He reviewed all my scans, all my reports, and come in, all right, let's go. It did turn out that I needed another surgery that was not really considered morbid, but they had to go in deeper to make sure there was no residual cancer left in my cheek. This is something else that I will always remember. Before Dr. Chesney would let us leave the office, wait, don't go anywhere. Wait, he'd run around and he's doing this and that and this, and he said, wait, don't leave. He went and made a phone call, and we left there that day with an appointment with my new surgeon. He went, got on the phone, set me up for Tuesday. That was a Friday. The next Tuesday, I was back in Louisville meeting with Dr. Ryan Shapiro, who was also fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him either. But we left the clinic that day, Dr. Chesney, with that first day with much needed hope, a clear plan of action, along with, I'm happy to report, a very good prognosis. He said, we've got a lot of work to do this coming year, but I think you're going to be okay, but we've got to get on it. We left the doctor's office that day on Northeast praising the Lord, and for the first time, we left the doctor's office with tears of joy instead of just plain old tears. So since last summer, I've been making this trip, as Dr. Chesney said, every 3 weeks. I thought I wasn't supposed to say my kids lived here, but anyway, we make the 400-mile trip, and I'd crawl those 400 miles to see this guy for my infusions, the follow-up tests, and all the rest. I realize, though, seriously, how blessed I am to be physically able and financially able to make this trip. So many rural Kentuckians, for many reasons, are not able to avail themselves to this type of care, and that's why we're here today. I've also gotten quite an education in this disease and the lack of access in rural areas to the tailored care approach that they provide. And having access to the clinical trials and the research not only helps us in our journeys today, but also will undoubtedly make a big difference for the future. It's also very gratifying that at my first infusion appointment, I was given the opportunity to participate in the research program. That's unheard of from where I come from. And Senator mentioned it before, but also I'm very happy to learn, as I have learned, about the collaborative spirit and the cooperation that Brown Cancer Center already has with smaller hospitals in rural areas all over the state and, frankly, all over the nation. Because, as they've already mentioned, every Kentucky county is represented with his team. So let me testify to you right now as I close that when you hear terms like multidisciplinary subspecialty care, translational cancer research, innovative clinical trials and research, state-of-the-art screening and education, pay attention to all that. Pay attention to what they're doing here, because that is what is and will make the difference as we fight this beast. And it's desperately, desperately needed in the rural areas. So let me add my thanks to everybody who took a part in this on behalf of the patients. Thank you all so much. And a cancer patient, they don't fight this battle as a choice of their own, but they only have one hope, and that's to be healthy, and that's to get a good report. It has to have hope. Okay, so this center will provide that many, many times over. And thanks to the state and all the county judge and mayor, General Assembly, Governor Beshear, everybody. It takes everybody to pull something off like this so fast in a political environment. So thank you so much. Not everything you do is a life and death project, but this one is. Thanks again. Thank you for asking me to participate. And I can't wait to hopefully get invited back to the groundbreaking. And God bless the patients. Thank you.
I was told at the last minute to thank everyone who's come. I'm really excited about what the future holds for us. We will be having some pictures. So for those of you who have participated in the discussions, I was personally struck by what Chris said. He articulated what I can't possibly articulate because I'm not a patient, but he represented every patient that I see every day of the week. So thank you to Chris one more time. Thank you all for coming.